Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Adarsh.
Okay. So, good morning, all. Welcome to the session. All right. So, this session will be a continuation of what we had yesterday. All right. The thing is, I want to know first who all were not present in the yesterday's session, so that I can do it in that way. You can simply raise your hands. Okay. All right. So, got five people who were in there. Six were in there yesterday. Okay, anyways, so what I'll do is just a minute, just give me a minute.
Sir, can you post the link again?
Which link, Rakesh?
The e-studies link?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll just go through it once again, not the entire session of what we had. Again, then we'll be stuck at some point. So just to give an idea of what we did yesterday, I'll just share my screen and then I'll let you know. And also give a quick recap of what I've done up to yesterday. And then, okay, there is not much remaining, but still let you know what is remaining, and then we will talk about things. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll start with the question statement that we had yesterday. Okay, so for those who were not present yesterday, and just a recap of what we have done. See, in week two Solve with Instructor session, what we did was we created some static HTML pages. All right, we gave some stylings to that, and we also gave how different HTML elements are added to a web page, and how we can navigate from one page to another using some links. All right. So that was the case in week two Solve with Instructor. So in yesterday's session, what we did was we did a bit build up on what we already knew. Okay, so we introduced Flask firstly, and then try to create those pages dynamically. Okay, so dynamically as in now that data has to be submitted, given to web page to get rendered, right? So that data was given with the help of form. So just before I was presenting this markdown, you may have seen a form getting there, right? So that was the form that we have created. Okay, so if I show you one of the pages, okay, just let me. So currently we don't have page here. Okay, just a minute. So I'll show you this Solve with Instructor second week session page. Sorry, wrong. All right. Okay, so this was week two Solve with Instructor session, right? And we had these pages. Let me try and render this. So these three pages, there were only three pages based on data science wiki was our topic. Okay, and then we added certain images, and then there were links which could hover to one, not hover exactly, navigate to the other pages that are there. Okay, so these were static pages. All the information, as you can see, is statically added and then stored. So no change could have been done in these files, right? But the way is, if you see here, there is a pattern that is being followed. That let's say there is a heading, okay, then there is a subheading which gives a certain bit of information, and then there is paragraph which gives detailed information. We've also given some image, and then there is links to, okay, certain technologies that are related, and then some additional information. Okay, so this was the content that we have given in a static web page for week two. In this session, or in the last session, let me open that. Okay, so in last session, what we did was take this information. So as you can see, the topic, subtopic, paragraph, and all. Take this information with the help of a form, okay, and then render every information in the stylings, okay, that we have given already in the stylings dynamically. So every time this page, whatever information that you save gets rendered dynamically. Moreover, a new HTML file based on that information, specific information, is to be created in our root current working directory or root directory. All right, so that was the task. Here, till yesterday's session, we were able to get this information with the help of form. All right, and then we could store it into variables. All right, and then we had this files called index.html, base.html, and add.html. All right, so let me give you what is these files. Okay, so let me go to add.html. This add.html is the form. Okay, so this is the HTML page of form which gets rendered as soon as you start the application or you run the server. Okay, so this has been linked to, so this is our application, right? So that add.html has been linked to this route, okay, and then gets served with the get method. All right, so how these things work I've shown in yesterday's session. For those who could not attend yesterday's session, can definitely go through YouTube thing, right, the YouTube video. So you'll get the idea of these things, and then you can work on today's session. There is a message. Yeah, so do you have to populate the data in lab assignment 4 just like we did in week 3? Okay. Yeah, so we'll talk about lab assignment 4 in the later part of this session. Okay, but anyway, you will have to, right, because that is how we are taking data, and then that data has to get populated somewhere. So yes, probably we have to do that. All right, so yeah, so how did what was this add.html? It was the form. Okay, so as soon as you hit the URL of this URL of or the base URL or the root URL, what you get is a form that asks you for information. All right, and then with the help of post method that was linked with the form. So where is that post method coming from? It is again in the form, right? So here, right, so I've added, this is the action attribute and this is method attribute. All right, and then what are these attributes, how do these attributes work? Okay, so what happens, so when this form is filled with certain data, we click on submit, what happens is this form hits this URL, okay, with method post. Okay, so this form hits this URL with this method post. Now what to do if that happens, we have given in our app, right? So what we have done is, if the form submit method is done with the help of post, right, so that is being done when we hit submit. So when this is done, you take these data, right, and then return index.html. Now what index.html is doing, that we are yet to do. So we are done with getting the form, okay, putting in data and getting that data and storing them into variables. All right, so just let me okay, so for those who were not there yesterday, is this clear till now?
Yes,
so what
sir.
we yeah, so what we tried to do was something like this. Now till up to here, see what I'll just show you how this is working. It's not app.py, it's main.py. Right, so when I run this, a form gets rendered, right? So this is happening with the get method. Okay, because if no method is mentioned, or if you want to retrieve some information from the server, the thing is done with the help of get method. So as you can see here, that we are receiving this form in the form of add.html and is getting rendered by the browser. So we are using get method to get this data on it, or HTML data of this form. All right, so now so these are certain fields that we enter. So if, let's say, if I put my name, or let's say anything, what will happen, this Adarsh will get saved to the topic, right? It will be saved with the topic, this variable. Now how do we take this variable? How is topic knowing that I am storing Adarsh only? So this is done with the help of this value, right? So this is topic. Okay, this topic. Now how am I handling this topic? So let me go to the this thing, add.html, which is form. So here we have defined an attribute. Within each input we define an attribute and name it. All right, so the name represents the, so it acts like the sorry, it acts like the key value pair of a dictionary. All right, so what happens is, whenever I enter Adarsh here and add, like click on add page, what will happen? A dictionary key value will be created. So what will be the key? Topic will be the key. Whatever I'm giving here in the name, okay, whatever value I'm giving here in the name will be the key, and the value will be whatever I'm typing in the form. Okay, so this is how it gets. So if you see here, this acts as a dictionary, right? So how do we retrieve the value things of dictionary? How will I do? Let's say that dictionary was info. Okay, whatever we are storing here was info. So these are just supposition, right? There is no info anywhere defined. So suppose that dictionary had a name info. How would I? And this dictionary info has elements like topic or subtopic or content, whatever we have defined here. How would I retrieve that? By this, right? Topic, right? So this has to be again a string. Okay, so this will give me the value others, right? So that is what we have done here. So if I go to, okay, I'll delete that later. So if I go to here, this in the our app, we'll see that topic has been stored with the help of form. So this is what I'm writing here. Oh, the suggestions. Whatever I'm writing here is analogous to this, or is equivalent to this. Request.form, because we are requesting data from form, and that data is getting in the form of dictionary. Right. So this itself, this second thing will also save the name others itself, right? So both are one and the same thing. Okay, the other way to write it, just write form.get, and get is a method that does the same thing for us. Just that it is a method, so we have to use the curly bracket. If it is dictionary, and to retrieve an element from dictionary, we use square bracket. That is only the difference. All right, so I hope this is clear how we are taking data. Now we are not doing anything with this data. Till yesterday's session, we did not do anything with this data. Now we'll be working on with this data. Second thing that I wanted to explain with the help of this session was the template inheritance. All right, so template inheritance means, what I want to do is, as you can see, there are 3 HTML pages. Not here in the week to solve with instructor session, there were 3 HTML pages. Okay, and each HTML page, apart from content, if you remove, keep aside the content, the structure, the styling, everything was same. All right, so what happened was, but those pages were manually written by me. Although I copy pasted, that is different thing, but they have to be manual. They have been manually written by me. Okay, so to remove this part of writing, all the similar content, or the content that is repeating every now and then for with every HTML page, what we do is we make the use of template inheritance. All right, so with the name, as the name suggests, template inheritance, what it does is it inherits a template which is called as a base template. Okay, so let me again load one of the page from week 2 session, so that I'll know what difference is there. Okay, so I'll upload a file. Okay, I don't have that file. No issues. Okay, so let me tell you like this only. So there was base.html. Okay, so in base.html, you see that this file, right? So everything an HTML file contains, like its compliance, all right, stating that is an HTML file, the head, and see there are certain information in the head part. Now this part is entirely common to all the HTML pages that I'll be generating. Okay, so if we are using something that is very common to all the pages, we'll use it as a base template. Okay, and then if you see this block main and end block, this is where I want my changing content to come in. Okay, this is where the changing content comes in. So what is that changing content? That will be the new file created every time I am putting some data and adding a page with the help of that form, right? So consider this, let's say this index.html is one such information. Okay, so if you see here, what I've written in base.html is block main end block. Okay, block main end block. So if you pay attention here also I'm writing block main and end block. Okay, so whatever comes between these two things, okay, block main and end block, will be rendered as a part of this. Okay, it will be stored here, and then this entire page will be rendered. Okay, so how do I call this entire page? How do I do that? I'll just say that now this HTML file, both these HTML file need to know that they're related in some way, right? So here, whatever file that I'm making, let's say this one, the new one that is changing, there I'll mention the parent item or parent HTML of that file. Okay, so how do I write? Extends base.html. So this is an extension of previously created base.html. This is what it means. Okay, so whatever I'm writing here, so don't worry about what is written here. I'll explain. But whatever I'm writing within this will be, so when I render this file, what is the file? Index.html. So if you go to the main.py and you see that some render template is rendering index.html. So when this function runs, when this, right, when the if statement becomes true and this thing runs, render template method is run, what will happen? It will render index.html. Okay, it will look at index.html and see, okay, there is a parent item or parent element related to parent file related to this file. What it will be, how will it know? Okay, it is extending from base.html. So it will go to base.html, render it, okay, take this part, put it in base.html and render the entire file. Okay, but then since this is a base.html, which is common, I don't have to call it and render it somewhere, right? So you cannot see anywhere base.html. What you will have to write is only that that content file which is changing. Okay, so that is why we have written only index.html. You can name it whatever you want, just change the name here and change the name here. It doesn't have to be index.html every time. This base.html doesn't have to be base.html every time. But whatever name you're writing here has to be written here. All right. Second thing that is important is whatever name you're writing here, okay, has to be written here. That is only that's why, that is the reason they could map easily, right? That this content will come here because this is only one content. What if I wanted to make another block, okay, which is coming from different files? Okay, so if I wanted to make another block, how will I make block and name it with certain name? Okay, and then with the same thing, I'll create that block that is coming and then I'll name the same thing. Okay, so this main, you can name it your name as well. Just make sure if you're naming it your name here, you have to name it your name here. Okay, so that is how you map two HTML files, one the base file and the changing file. This part is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so this is what we have done in the previous session because these files are ready. This is what we have done in the previous session. Now what I'll do is now I will move forward, as in what we need to do. See, we have these files. Okay, so we have these variables. Okay, this topic, subtopic, content, image, and link, but we have not used these variables anywhere. Okay, so I had stopped here. This is where I wanted to use. Okay, so what I've done is instead, so this actually this index.html is, I've written it here and then I've copied it to my main.py as a template. Okay, so there is a reason why I'm doing this. I'll tell you now. See, what happens is if I have copied the entire file, okay, let's say I'll create this variable once again. Okay, let's say template2. So I'm creating a new variable that is template2. Okay, and then I'm making it as a multi-line string. Okay, so it is a multi-line string. Okay, now what I'll do is I simply take the index.html, copy the entire content. And put it here. So if I put it here, there is one problem. What is that problem? See, when I'm using this, what we call it as string formatting, when I want to format string, I want to add certain data which is dynamic with the string. The format is you add f here. Okay, you add f here, and then wherever you want to add certain data, you give it in the form of curly bracket. Okay, so this is the syntax. So since it is using curly bracket, it is considering this entire thing within this, entire thing within this, and entire thing within this as a variable. But it is not variable, right? It is a syntax for template inheritance. Okay, so this is the problem that we'll be facing if we try to take the entire file. Okay, but we can have a workaround for this. What workaround did we do? What we did is we took this difference. So this is coming in the top and bottom of the file, right? So what we did, we removed these two and took only this much part as a part of our template, right? If you can see here, see, it is starting from this div and ending at this div, starting from this div and ending at this div. So this is the only part, because we will not have curly bracket anywhere else apart from this, right? So here, if I add a curly bracket and add my topic, the variable that I want to be treated as variable will be treated as variable. Okay, and then what I need to do is simply need to add this, right? So here, what I've done is I've added here. See, so I'm adding these two lines, adding this template, and again adding this last line. So entirely this final will be the final string that I want. That is the name I've named it final. Okay, so this part is clear why I'm doing this with the template inheritance. So I'm trying to club two concepts with Flask. Okay, why am I doing this? Because I want to store, every time I create a new file, I want it to get stored as a new file, right? So let's say if I'm naming, if I want to add a content that is based on, let's say laptops. Okay, so I'll name this the heading of that page would be laptop. Whatever heading I keep, with the same name, and index.html should create. Not sorry, with the same name, an HTML file should create. Okay, so an HTML file will be creating here. Okay, but if I'm trying to create an HTML file with the help of templates, what is happening? This every time only the template will be created, right? See what is happening actually. If I so this, let's say we are talking about, if I go to base.html, not exactly index.html, and let's say when we talk about Jinja, if let's say if I see h1, we want to add heading, okay, or a topic, what happens here? Okay, so this is the topic. Okay, so this is how you add a variable in Jinja, okay, with the help of Jinja templating into HTML file, and then this thing gets rendered whenever this file is rendered by the application. All right, so how will I do this? What was that file? It was actually index.html, right? So if I want to run this index.html here, this index.html, this file also need to know what topic was, right? So we will write topic equals to topic. Okay, so this topic will come from HTML file, and this topic will come from this variable that we have stored. Okay, all right, so then when this file gets rendered, every time whenever this file gets rendered, this topic will be put into that file. Okay, and then it will come as a variable here. Okay, this is how it should happen. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a new file every time this happens, right? So if I'm trying to create a new file and I'm putting this as the content of that file, the exact variable as the topic, let's say that laptop, will not come here. What will come? It will print as it is. Okay, are you getting this issue, what I'm trying to say here?
So the last one I didn't understand. Like you said, as it is, like
Okay.
the topic would come from variable, right?
Yeah.
That will be defining in the like Python file.
Yes. See, I'll show you what's happening here. Okay, let me remove this template too, because okay, this part is clear, right? Why we are doing this workaround?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This
Okay,
is clear.
so, okay, let me remove this.
Just to clarify, the template 2, why it won't work if you give the additional tags?
That template 2,
why it won't work if I give both the start block and end block as part of template 2?
I'll just show you, just a minute. Let me bring that back. Okay, see, so what I'm trying to do here is, okay, so, okay, let me show you everything, okay, what is happening, why I'm doing this. Like, I'll not delete this, I'll comment this. Okay. So let's say, let's remove this idea also of having a template as a format string here in our file. Okay, let's create this index.html. Okay, let's keep this as a template. Okay, let us keep this as a template. Okay, so if this is the template, what I would do is I'll add all these variables to that template, right? So we'll remove this also. we'll remove this also as a template for now. Okay, simpler way would be, okay, now you have these variables, you put these variables in the index.html as variables, right? So topic, subtopic will become subtopic. Okay, so you don't forget that we have to save the data in the file, right? Okay, so I've got all the variables embedded into my render template. Now I need to just place them inside my index.html file. Okay, so I want this topic to be having a larger heading. So this is topic. This will be subtopic. Okay, then the paragraph, whatever content I have as a part of paragraph should be content. Okay, then so image, if you can see in the form, it is image URL, right? So whatever I'm writing here should be the part of source. Okay, so I'll add it as a string. Was it image, right? Yeah, image. Okay, then next we have was additional information. In additional information, okay, in this href,
Link we need to give.
sorry.
We need to provide that link.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So this is the link. Okay, and then I'll remove this h3 because it will by itself know that we are having new, and then here in this I'll write simple more info here. Okay, so this is the more info here. Okay, so this is index.html for. Okay, now let us try to run this now.
So you have not removed the triple quote.
Where exactly?
Sir, scroll down, sir.
Huh. Oh, just a minute. Okay, and this also is not defined currently. Okay, so we have this form, right? So I'll add information. So there is some pre-written information. Let me add that one. So you're writing on cell phone. Cell phones are portable telephone. Okay, I'll write the same information here. Okay, then there is image URL. So that is cellphone.png. Then there is additional link that is wiki. Okay, so I'm having this topic and things written. Why? Because I've hard coded that. So ignore this for a while. That is not required. So once I do this, okay, it is creating the file. Okay, and I'm not getting this image. Why am I not getting this image? Let me see. So let us go to index.html. Okay, and then we'll go to main. Okay, static we have cellphone.png. So this is the file that is already there in the folder. Okay, so what we'll do is this index image, all right, static slash, oh sorry, not here, static slash image. Let's see what happens. Let me note this. Sorry. I got the image loaded. Fine, working fine, right? Now it is just the matter of the thing is now next we need to just save this file. Okay, so all the content that is here should be saved as a new file, and it should be named as cellphone.txt, right? Sorry, cellphone.html. So whenever I render that file, I should get the same data. Okay, so let me do that. Let us go to main.py. Because it is a part of this it is a part of this function. I'll write it here itself. Okay, so when this happens, you create the file. So what I'll do is I'll just open. Okay, here I can use f-string, no issues. So what I'll do is okay, so this will create an HTML file. Okay, so I need to also put the mode. Okay, so what will this do? This will create an HTML file with the name of topic. So whatever I'm naming it, it will create that file with that name. Okay, and then I need to write the content of file from that whatever we are rendering, right? So that content has to be written, and then we need to close it. Okay, now this index.html content has to be retrieved. So if I retrieve this content from index.html, what will be retrieved? This entire field information on this,
No, only the static data.
right? So
String.
only this data within the curly bracket. Every time I save a file, doesn't matter what the name is, what the information I give, every time this file will be saved, right? Why are we able to see every data? Why is file rendering? Because we are rendering it with these variables. Every time we are rendering it, it is only rendering. It is not saving the file. Okay, but if I read this file again, as even the file gets created, if I read that, what will happen? Only the content of index.html will be copied to that file. That's it. Nothing else will happen. So every time a new file is created, data in the file will remain same. So what is the point of having? What is the point of having a new file?
So
Right.
can we not create the new file with all the data? Like, can we
That,
not pass
yeah,
the data in there as well?
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I have been doing, right? So if we see main.py in this template, what I'm doing is I'm making everything as a string,
Okay.
right? So that is what I've been doing because that was not working, right? So need to understand that rendering a template is only rendering a template. It is not saving the template with all the variables that we are giving along with it. Okay. Whenever you run this method, it will render to this route. That is it. It will not save a file even if you write function to save the files.
Oh, got it, sir.
Got it. So that was the problem. That is the reason what I'm doing is I'm taking everything as a template and save these variables. Instead of rendering, I'm saving this variable using the format string. Okay, it will be better to write the variable, make it a string that is having all the information, and then save it to the new file, right? That would make sense.
Yes, sir.
Every time making a new file and having the same data will not make sense because you will have this structure. That's it. Nothing else will be there.
Sir, can you please repeat this last bit?
Yeah, see, so what is happening is, so did you get what is the problem with this currently? What problem we are facing?
Yes, sir.
See, the thing is what I'm doing here, I'm saving a file. Okay. So in this write function, I need to add the data, what I want to save. Okay. I need to add this data. Okay. What is this data actually? It is the text part of or the content of index.html. Okay. Now, when I ran this program, when I ran this application, I saw that everything was coming on the page with all the information that I entered. Okay. But when I'm trying to save that file, I will only see this. I will not see the exact content filled in place. These are called the placeholders, right? That they are representing that, okay, content will come here, image will come here, topic will come here. Okay,
Right.
but
So
whom they are telling? They are
names,
telling it to render template function.
you're saying only the variable names get saved, or the
Yeah,
content of
that's
the.
what I'm saying. That, yeah, see this index.html. See, when I'm taking this data from index, see, whatever I'm writing here, what should I write here? The things that are taken from this index.html. Okay,
Right, sir.
right. So if I'm taking this in the data from or content from index.html, what I will be taking only this structure, not the exactly rendered data.
Hello, sir.
Because, yeah,
But in that you are returning the render template and then the parameters, right? But if you do that v equals to or something v equals to render template and the parameters, then write the v inside the file, then it can save the data, no?
no, it is only rendering the, see, what is rendering the template? It is rendering the template whenever you hit the route.
No, I am saying that the v equals to render template, and then all the thing in the line number 13. That is, without returning that, if we save that in a variable v, then return that v, and we can write the v inside the file. So then it can write the actual data, no?
Okay, so you're saying that you need to save it. So that is something that we have done with Ginger template, right?
Yeah. That is I am telling.
Yeah. So that is something that, yeah, got it. So that is one way. That is one another way. I'm not sure if render template saves it. I'm really not sure with that. See, rendering a template will render it whenever you try to run it. I'm not sure if it saves. See, render template, what does it mean? Whenever you run this, it will come to the browser. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And what you're saying is you save this render template with this content to a variable and then write the variable.
Yes, sir. That is I am telling.
Yeah. So that is one way, right? So just for that, we need to make sure that render templates saves it just the way Jinja 2 template does.
Okay.
Right.
So
So that is your
Just
activity.
two
You
things.
can try that. That is your activity. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that is
Thank you.
that's what there are multiple ways. There can be multiple ways of doing it. See, I was unsure of how render template will do that. That's why I did this. This is another way. Okay. And
Okay.
definitely this can be what you are saying is definitely a better way. Okay, they don't have to work around with this template thing and then extend block and things like that, right? Okay, so that is one way. You try that. Okay, if it comes, it comes.
Yes, sir. I will try that.
Okay, so the thing is, whatever I'm doing here, this rendering the template will simply render template, and while it is rendering the template, it will use the variables. Okay, so it will use these variables, but while saving, it will save only the structure. Because whenever I'm trying to save, what I'll do, I'll retrieve data from index.html and then save it. But index.html will not have saved the data. Okay, so that was the issue. Okay, I hope the issue is clear.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right. So one way now that we have got two ways. Okay, so one way is that we can make it as a string. Okay, a simple string which will save data and save it as a part of string. Okay, and then we'll render it. That is one way. Second way, which looks an easier way, is save this render template to a variable. Okay, and then you save the variable. Okay, so that is another way. Okay, but we'll go with what way I have done. Okay, so because then this also will get cleared and that also will get cleared. All right, so we'll remove this. Currently, we don't need this. Okay, and since this render template will run only as a return part, we'll remove this because we don't want these values to go there while rendering. I just want all these values to get saved in index.html and then get rendered. For that, we'll simply save it as a part of string. So that is what I'm doing here. Okay, so this index.html, I simply copied the content. Okay, I took care of this extend part that is coming from template inheritance. Just give me a minute. This tab. Okay. So this template dot in template inheritance thing I've taken care in this way. Okay, and then only the things that are coming in template I'm taking care in this way. Okay, so what we have done here. Okay, so we have given two curly brackets, right? Same thing we'll do in main.py but with single curly bracket. Okay, so this is a matter of syntax. Okay, so this topic, this will remove because I want the topic in h1. All right, any issue here? Some issue here? Okay, we'll see. Here it should be subtopic. Okay, this is subtopic. Then in the paragraph tag, I had content. Okay, in the image source, there was okay, so static image, and then we have additional information. So I'll remove this. We don't need additional information, a separate thing. I'll just add href to home. And this I'll simply, what was the thing? It was link.
It was the link, yes.
And then here we can add more info here. Okay, so we're getting some issues. Why are we getting these issues? Let me tell you. See, this we are using this 3 quotes, right, which are double quotes, 3 quotes. Okay, so within string, if you want to give a part of string within string, just change the quotes. Okay, okay, so most of this is done. Okay, but still we are getting this thing. Let me see why. So image, we have alt undefined image. Yeah,
The container 3.
container 3. Okay, no, the error it is showing is different. Let's see.
All the IDs also have to be changed, sir.
No. See, nothing has to be changed. See, what happens is these variables now are local variables. Okay, these are local variables. So we need, sorry. So this template, so whatever we are writing here, see what error I'm getting here, undefined name image. This error is undefined name link, right? So wherever I'm typing a variable, it is giving me error. Why? Because these are local variables. So what I need to do is
we'll have to do is like either make them global or we'll have to
yes,
keep the template in there.
yes, simply keep it inside the function before rendering. All right, all the error bends away. Okay, so this is like defining. So that is what we wanted, right? Take the variable, make the template there itself, because we want to write also the function there itself. Okay, and then we'll take this final. Okay, so this final. What will final do? It will simply add the complete string and add these two things which are required for making inheriting something from base.html. Okay, now this is done. What we want to do is we need to simply write these file into a new file. Okay, so I'll write just like this, file equals to, we need to open. Okay, here again I'll use f string, and then in that f string I'll name it as topic. Okay, so because I want the file name of the file should be same as the topic of the file. Okay, so it will open a topic.html. Okay, so we'll write it into write mode, then file dot write. What should we write here? Final. Okay, and then finally close the file. Okay, so once this is closed, what will happen? It will create a new file here, and that is what I want to render. Okay, so I want to render that file, not the index.html. So same thing I'll write here. Okay, so you render this file. Okay, probably this is done. Let's see. Okay, so if this is clear, let me remove this. Okay, unnecessary code we don't want. Okay. So we'll definitely have a form. Okay, because that is getting by get. I'll remove this later. Okay, so it's cell phone, portable telephones. Image URL. See here, there are two things, like static and cell phone. Static cell phone and cell phone. We'll take this. Why? Because that static thing we have taken care into the code. Okay, additional link is this. Let's add the page. We're facing some error. The template not found, cell phone.html. Why is this happening? But we got cell phone.html, right? So if I see this file, I'm having all the information that I filled, but still it is saying template not found. Why? Can anyone tell me why is this happening?
Sir, you were returning the cellphone.html.
Yes.
So, and it is
It
again
is
rendered.
not a part of templates folder. It should be a part
No,
of
but
templates.
no, but it is
Exactly. Yeah,
again
it should
rendering.
be. Yeah, it is. So returning is, yeah, I'm actually rendering that. That's why then only we'll have it on the screen, right? So this file, what is happening? This render template is searching for cellphone.html in templates folder. But this cellphone.html is getting created in the root directory. All right, so that is the issue.
Yes, yes.
That is the issue. What we need to do is we need to write this file in the template folder. Okay, we need to write this file in the template folder. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll add here. Okay, so you open this file in the templates folder. Okay, let's see what happens now. Yeah, see, so it got the, so now if I see the templates folder, I'm having cellphone.html. Okay, so we don't need to worry about this. Delete this file. Okay, so this template.html, which is having all the data that we fill, which is saved as a HTML file, is coming from here, and the font and style sheets all are linked to my base.html, right? So the template inheritance is also working fine. So it is taking from template inheritance. Just make sure while adding href, you have to add the static here. Okay, because the style.css is not anymore in the root directory, but it is in the static folder. So you have to add this. Okay, and then second thing to keep in mind is this, right? So you have to create this topic.html in the templates folder, and then it will get rendered. Okay, so this is what we wanted to do. Okay, so if I go to more info, it should show me that Wikipedia page. There it is, right? This is what we wanted to do. And then just see here, so we have added data properly, which we need to make sure that just tell you one or two things how I added index.html. Yeah, so you see this link is put into brackets, right? So, quotes, right? So whatever link that we are passing will not be into quotes. We are simply passing link. We don't have to worry about that also. Simply pass the link and it will take it as href. Okay. Here I've already added static, so you don't need to write the folder structure also, static and then image name. Just add the image name, whatever is there. Okay. Second thing, this is done, and then yeah, these things are easy, directly printing it there. But whatever comes as a part of link, just put it into the quotes. So then only it will come as a part of link, right? Yeah. So Vignesh, this stands for object. This stands for dynamic content. No, everything. See, every variable that you want to print, you use this in Jinja, the first one, and second one you use for this thing, format string. Right, the first one is from both are for strings, both are for content. See, this content is a string. Okay, subtopic is a string. Both are string, but this double quote will come for Jinja and single quote will come for this thing, format string in Python. All right. So see, when I hit the information, what will it will do? What it does, what it did is it posted the information. Okay. So there are two things aligned with this function, that is generate. One is you simply render the add.html, which is form. And then once you hit add button, it will go to this route, same, but with method post. Now, if the method is post, you do these things, not the other thing, not the rendering of add.html, but these things, right? So this is how it works. Okay, so if you want to see all the things working in developer tools, we'll see here, because then we'll know what method is getting sent when. Okay, so first let me first remove this, just a minute, add.html, just for your explanation, right? So I'll go to this, add new page, reload it, and this one. All right, so when I reloaded this, see, I've got this. Okay, so this should have come when the method was get. So if I click here, I'll see that okay, the status is 200, but the method is get. All right, the method is get. Now if I add data into it, okay, let's say laptops. Okay, laptops are portable computer devices. Portable computers. Okay, so I'll add, just to make the data more proper, I'll add some random data. Laptop data is taking time, just a minute. Okay, simply copy. Yeah, so one thing to mention here is, see, whatever content part, no, I have given it as a part of text area. Okay, just to see whatever comes here. Other fields cannot be extended like this, but this text area can be extended. All right, then image URL. I currently don't have image, so let's add an image here. Okay, so if I go to images, I'm just taking a random image. Let's say this one. There's also part of Wikipedia only, so fine, we can take it. J5. Okay, so it has come there. I need to load it into my Replit. Okay, so I got the image too, and then this wiki page. this Wikipedia page. So we need this link also. Okay, so a new add page, I'll add simply the link here, go back to Replit, and then I'll add new new file here. Sorry, upload file. So I'll simply this has to be in the static folder. Is it supported, by the way? Let's see. Okay, so we got the image also. Let's start adding things into the form. Images laptops dot gif. Is it? Let me see. Yeah, jfif. Okay, so all the things got added. Let's see, try to add this page. Okay, so you got the page completely properly rendered, but we'll see that later. But I want to see the network here. So there are so many things that are coming up, but this thing, if you see here, this is 200 data source things, and then finally, so why is these so many things getting rendered here? Just a minute. So you can see so many things here, right? So this is all coming from, or this is all coming from here. Let me show you this base.html. So this, we are taking a font size, right? So we're taking font from Google Forms. So all those links is getting loaded. We are taking this style sheet. So all these files are getting loaded. So that we can see here. So what is exactly happening at the background of our application can be seen here. Okay, then I guess this one is the, yeah. So this one is the 200 method post. When I added data, everything got loaded. I added data and then I got the post method. See, so whenever I say add page, it will come up as a post method. And if it is a post method, some information may have gone to the server. That information can be seen from payload. So if you see here, you will see all the things, right? Topic, laptop, subtopic, content, image, and then link, right? So the form data can be seen under the payload tab. Okay, now this is all about the network, what is happening behind when an application or when a web page is loaded. Okay, and this is dynamic because it is taking information from various other pages. Okay, hello, somebody speaking. Okay, so maybe some issue. All right, then if I go to move info here, more info here, it should load me. Hello, who's unmuted? Just a minute. Hey, who is unmuted?
There's this guy Arya. So Arya is Arya Bhattacharya, I guess.
Arya, could you please mute yourself?
লোকেদের ব্রেন ফগ হচ্ছে গো কোভিড এর জন্য ব্রেন ফগ নাকি যে ফাজি থিংকিং
Sir, you can mute him.
I am unable to find him. Okay, fine. All right. Okay, silence. All right. So yeah, here where we were here in the Wikipedia. So this is loaded with the external link that we have given, and then we will get back to our page. Okay, so this was what I wanted to show in the entire session of yesterday, but it took a bit long. But I hope whatever I tried to said was clear.
Yes,
is
sir.
it clear? Any doubt till now?
Sir, I have a doubt actually. Like,
Okay.
like that is like when we in the text area, like we pasted that information, right? Let's say we pasted the information like along with the line break. So would the variable in our backend take that line break or not?
We pasted information in with the line break.
Yeah, exactly.
See, okay, let me see. See here in add.html, this line, whatever you are putting as a part of text area, is it is coming, it is not coming getting written somewhere here, anywhere here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is not getting written anywhere here. So in text area, it will not be taken as line break. But in laptops.html, in this content, if you have a BR tag, right, this will be taken as a line break.
Yeah, but let's say if the user when the user is inputting the content, like in the, like there in the front end, if he like pastes the information in a way like that it is a next paragraph. So would we have to create another text area field, or like can he do the same thing in just one?
He can do
text
that.
area?
See, because see, whatever, if you're writing, let me see, I'll tell you. See, if I'm writing break there, it will come as a content here. Okay, and then
Yes.
this file will render it as a break. So it should come as a break. Okay, let's try that.
Okay.
Sir, we can create another function when there are some full stop, then it can add a BR tag.
Yeah,
and
that
that
we
is
can do.
passed.
That and all we can do. This is like again a build up on this application. This is the basic that I wanted to show, right? So if I go back, I'll show, I'll see a form. Okay, and then these are about laptop. But is it? Yeah, it is having the content, right? So let us put a line break here. According to me, it should show. That's true. Yeah, see, it does.
Okay, sir.
So you're putting a line break here. So it is not getting rendered by the text area, not getting rendered by this add.html anywhere, but it is getting rendered once it is saved, right? So it is saved in laptops.html. So it will come as a line break.
Okay, like that is like when we add the BR tag, not like just putting the enter wouldn't save it that way.
No, it
Just-
won't.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think so. It will. Just let's see that also. Let's see that also. Why to make
sir.
comments? So where was that BR tag? Here. Okay, so this is what, right? Let's try to see this. No, it won't.
Got
Okay,
it.
so
sir.
your space will not matter. If you're writing anything as BR, see, because this is HTML getting rendered.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're giving anything as an HTML, it will be rendered as HTML. If you're giving space, HTML doesn't understand space.
Yeah, so we'll have to explicitly like put in the BR tag in the content.
Yes, you will have to, but we can we can work around with that. So if we are giving a space, take it as a new paragraph, we can do that. So this is like a simple thing, right? We cannot go into more complexities.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cannot be done? No, it can be done, definitely. So whatever you feel like, take this as an application. Whatever you feel like you can do with this application, right? So now the next activity is, so as well, I wanted to give one more activity with this. See, here we have the page ready. Okay, but it is showing me only the laptops and more information on laptops. Then what is the point of creating every time a new page, right? The page will be created, no issues. But I wanted to, I have only the front end or the UI of the application. I don't know what is happening in the background. So you need to add something here in the bottom. Okay, what it will do, it will give keep on adding. So if I'm adding 3 pages, it should keep on adding those links for the 3 pages. Okay, so if I add one more page, a different link for that page should appear, so that I can navigate through all the rendered pages, all the created pages. Like this can be an activity as a build up on this, right?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yeah, so now what I would do is, since this is done as a part of activity, what I wanted to give as a session, this is done. Okay, so I'll give the link to this file, you can fork it, okay, and then build on that. Okay, so the next activity this is for everyone. Next activity is to see if you are creating, I'll explain once more. So this is the app, right? And my app has this cellphone.html and laptops.html. There are 2 files which are useful to me as a part of information. Okay, but here, when this application is loaded, or this page is visible to me, I can see only one page and get information on the same topic. Okay, but there is no cell phone, any information on cell phone or the page that is already created. So I need to navigate to all the pages that are there. Okay, so what you need to do is create a logic and add it as a part of template. So that logic, anything can be added as a part of Python. Okay, and then everything can be added as a template to HTML. So create a logic. As soon as you add a new page, it should come up, right? So it should come up as a new page.
Hello, sir.
Okay, so this is the
Uh,
activity for everyone. Yeah.
Yes, so can you give some hint about that? Like, if we can, there is a cell phone page. If we create new laptop page, then suppose with some logic we are able to add the cell phone page here in the bottom. But in the cell phone page, we cannot add the laptop page. So. And about the logic,
No.
some
So you have
can
to
you
write
give
a
some
logic. If a page is
Can I
loaded,
answer that, sir? So like I know the
sure.
solution. We can actually put a footer there. In the base template, we can put the footer of like all the pages, and that footer can be extended to every page, and we can simply render like get the links to every page.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So and that
Thank you.
can be done because I have given you pointer to template inheritance. Template that part to all the pages. Right, inherit that
Okay.
part
Yeah,
to all the
exactly.
pages, and yeah, doesn't matter what page you're loading, the base will, the bottom, that footer will remain common to everyone.
Yes.
Right, one way of doing that. Second way can be, you don't have to add the footer also, because let's say you have 100 pages and this is the information, and then the footer will extend up to, you're getting what I'm saying.
Yes,
See,
sir. Yes, sir.
here, this more info here, this is one thing. Okay, if I have 100 pages, okay, this footer part will itself extend and you need to scroll, and the main information remains as a header. Okay, so if I keep on scrolling, this information will be lost. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right, so that is one way. Can be what you do is you bring a drop down. Okay, create a drop down here. Okay, just the way we have drop downs, right? So create a drop down which will list all the names of all the files that are there. How do you take all names of all the files as a part of list? Use something like sys, right? The libraries like OS and sys, these are there to play around with the files of working directory.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That I was asking.
You take all the files as a part of sys, store it as a what we say list. Okay, and then list, you store all the values of list, you store as a part of drop down, and you will have only one short page and everything is accessible from there. Right, is this clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, so I will not show that part. This is something that you can try, or I've just
So
given a hint.
we can also like make a CSV file. Like whenever we write a new file, we can write that name in a CSV file, and then later on it would be like pretty easy for us to like just go through all the names and load that thing in the drop down basically.
Multiple ways possible.
Yeah.
So this is why we are doing this, because we are not using anything related to database. Once the database jumps in, you don't have to worry about the data. Right, so whatever files we have created this file, right? Let's say if I'm having 100 files, will I keep on creating 100 HTML files? No, right? So I will just simply add all this data. Let's say this cellphone.html. So this data is important to me, right? Not the template everywhere. So what is happening when I embed this application with the database? I'll store this database in all this data into the database and only keep these two files, add.html, base.html, index.html. Okay. Every time I run the program, data will be retrieved and then rendered. That's it. So what is happening currently? My application whole in the front end, right? In the front end is getting heavier because I'm keeping on adding files. But when I add or link it to database, the server will take care of the data. I'll just have to call it, server will fetch the data and then send me the HTML and also the data. Here what I'll have to do, take the data, take the HTML and render it simply. Okay, so that is coming part. That will be coming in the next couple of weeks. We'll be talking a lot about databases.
Sir, will we be using any Postgres DB or is it what DB are we going to be
We will be
working on?
using SQLite 3 DB because that is a local DB that we'll be using, right? And then we'll be wrapping it with Flask using SQL Alchemy.
Okay, thanks.
So we have to install that like.
Yeah. The way you install Flask.
Okay. No, the SQLite.
Yeah. No, so SQLite, see, that's what I said. SQL Alchemy is a wrapper to SQLite database. What you need to do is once SQL Alchemy and Flask SQL Alchemy are installed, they will create a local database in your folder. Okay, and then all the functionalities of a database will be provided by SQL Alchemy and Flask SQL Alchemy.
No, sir. I'm asking that we have installed the PostgreSQL. So like that, we have to should we install the SQLite, or it is something like
So
it
he's
automatically
asking for
does?
something like DB browser for SQLite, or like he just
DB browser.
saying-
Oh yeah, DB browser we have to install. That is something for your reference, right? DB
Yeah,
browser
exactly.
you can open, see the file will be created in your folder db.db file or .sqlite3 file. This will be local files being created in your local current working directory. Okay, to view this data, what is actually happening, how is the data storing, what is the schema and on, these things will be viewed by you with the help of DB browser, things like that.
Okay, and SQLite that is the different software, na?
SQLite.
Is it? Yeah, is it a
SQLite is a
different software?
database. SQLite is a database. Is it a software? No, okay. What you're saying is something like Postgres and the things. See, I'm not worked with
Yes,
Postgres
sir.
much. No, you don't have to install anything as far as I can
Like
tell.
okay. Like
See,
if we see the simple SQL also, then in simple SQL case also we have to install the SQL workbench like software. So for SQL, like, is it same or?
no, it is not that. See, the things you're talking about is being taken care by the wrappers, the ORMs, object relational mappers. Okay, so these are Flask SQL Alchemy. So once you install that, all the things will be installed in the Mac.
Okay.
Okay, so we won't be talking about databases in detail, but we'll talk about how to use them here. Okay, link it with our app and how to use that data.
Yes, sir. Got the idea, sir.
Yeah. So see what is happening is once you start working with databases, and as I said, you will be talking about ORMs and all. So these things will be installed by your system. All right. And then you will configure you will code to configure your database with your application. Okay. So once that happens, you don't have to install things like Workbench and all. You are not working with data here. Okay.
Yes,
You're working with the app, and app is dealing with the data. The MVC, right? Your controller is dealing with the model. You're working on controller here.
Yes, sir. Got it. And sir, about this code, not a doubt, but a functionality that in the topic we are inside the form we are writing our topic name. So if we put a space inside that, it will throw an error. So there are some websites like it says that you cannot put a space there. So how to add those things?
No, currently you can add space. Currently there is no validation like that. You can add space. You try and see.
But if I add the space when it is creating the file something.html, so inside the file name it will contain a space, then it cannot generate the file.
No, it will. It will. See, because that space is also an encoding, right? In encoding, we saw a space has a encoding character.
Okay.
Right?
No,
So
I'm telling the main.py.
Okay, main.py. What
Yes.
about it?
Yes, click that.
Okay. So this one, right?
Yes, sir. I'm telling that if we take the laptop or cell phone, cell space phone, then how it can create the
It
file?
will still work. Why? Because you're creating everything as a string. Cell will be taken as a string, space will be taken as a string, and phone will be taken as a string, so string, and it will have a characteristic encoding to everything. So it will create a file. Let me show you.
Okay.
Let me show you. Let me reload this. Why is it not? Why couldn't we reach our REPL? Okay, our server died or what? Okay. Okay, so our topic name is cell space phone. Okay, cell space phone. Let's keep other things same. Okay. Adding for wiki. See, it did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is doing. Why? Because this space is getting encoded as a space. So if you will see that this cell and pole are two different words, but the system or the program sees it as a complete string.
Yeah, got it, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, one question that while submitting our solution for week 4, will we need to give that host equals 0.0.0 that one we have to give in the
No.
upload run code?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to, but it won't matter even if you give.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So any doubt with this session? Session as in the solve with instructor part. Okay. So what okay, you can still go through the code if anything is not clear. We'll see that. So what I'll do is I'll simply give you this thing, the link to this file. Okay, so now we'll have the entire code. You can go through it, add your own functionalities. That will be a lot better. Okay, so you have to just go to this link and fork it. All the things that are there created will be there with you. Okay, so in the next session, we might have our faculty coming in. Okay, next as in next solve with instructor session. Okay, so you can keep your doubts ready. All right, so it will be starting from week 1 to week 5. Okay, but because by then week 5 will also be started from day after tomorrow, so you can keep all your doubts ready which we could not clear or which you think are still there to ask, and then still want to interact with the faculty. There is a chance that you can there's probable chance that faculty will join in for the next Friday session. Okay, and then we'll see about the other sessions later. Let you know. Okay, anything else about this? See, what we do is generally okay, now I'm working with this project, right? This solve with instructor week 4. Okay, when I'm done with it, I'll not close it. I'll go to another REPL, create REPL and create another Flask app. Okay, and then we'll start try to run the Flask app. Okay, what happens is if you try to run the Flask app, a different app is still running on the same thing, right? Same thing, the same this thing, what we call it, this uh, IP address, same thing, some different thing is running. That is the reason your app doesn't run there. It shows it cannot reach. What you need to do is close it. Control C, it will close the server. Okay, now any other app running on same IP, if you try to run it on same IP, same port, it will run. So some of the others were kind of complaining about their app not running even if their code is completely right. So this also happens, right? Something is happening in the background at the server side. Those things also happen. So just take care of it. If you're working on a REPL, especially when you're working with server and you want to change a REPL, work on something different, close this thing, close the server, and then you can work. Okay. Yeah, we're working on wiki. We're done till week 4. It's under review. Okay, so we don't want to give you any content. We'll give you a reviewed proper content, right? Okay, Any doubt? Is everything clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's clear. Thank you very much.
Okay, so okay, any other doubt related to other things? We'll take on that. We're working on it, Nidhish, probably by end of this week, not this week as in, because this is the end of the week. Next week, end of next week, we'll try to get something with Wiki. Okay. All right, so you go through the code, try out your things. Okay, try out the activity that I've said. Okay, if anything is not clear, if stuck anywhere, just post it on Discourse. Probably will try to answer you. Okay, but keep working on these activities because these will help you a lot in coming sessions, because now coding have started, right? So this will help you in a lot of forthcoming sessions and project especially. Okay, so we have taken the smaller topics just to keep everything ready with you all as a part of smaller topics. Going through the entire big thing doesn't work. Okay, can you send this main.py file? So 1 second. Yeah, I'll give you the link. This is the link. Okay, so you all have any other session at 1?
No, sir, I guess.
Okay.
Sir, I have MLF.
Okay, fine. Okay, anyways, we still have time. So do we have to create an output file for the lab assignment for this week or just render it directly? Output file as in for the HTML things? Probably same thing you have to do. Same thing you have to do, just the input that you were doing with command line interface in the last assignment, that has to be changed to form. Okay. Other things remain same.
It is not mentioned in the problem statement to create an output file for week 4.
Okay. Not create an output file.
It is not mentioned to create. So
No,
I think we need not
no,
create.
it should be like, but then how will you render it? How will you show that it is working?
Oh, okay.
How we will judge that your file is created or not? What we will render? That's what file has to be created. It must be like initially.
Inside the template file. Yeah.
Initially, there should not be any file. Only that app.py file should be there. Yes, any database can be configured with Flask. You can use Postgres.
Sir, I wanted to ask something, not exactly a doubt, but just I'm just curious. Like on the screen, we see that the debugger is active on debugger pin. Like what can we do with that exactly? Like the debugger pin and like.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Sure, sir.
Okay, so let me go to. Okay, let me go to this site. http://localhost 5050. Let's see what happens. Okay, so site can't be reached. Okay. What was the reason you cannot reach the site? Can you tell me?
Because like the port is not like the thing is not running on that port right now.
Okay, you know that. What if here you see something like internal server error or 404 not found?
Not found, then like the thing is running, but like the application was not able to find the like.
Why? But
why?
What exactly happened inside?
That I don't know exactly.
Yeah, so those things you'll know when you write debugger equals to true.
Okay, sir.
See, so what is happening here is, let me remove this debug equals to true. Okay, I'm removing this, and in our file,
Is it just me or like the sir's mouse got stuck?
Yes, I think Adarsh's screen has stuck. So let's wait for some time and then I think.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
let me remove this, and yeah. Hello, I'm audible.
Hello.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I lost my connection.
Adarsh, are you sharing your screen?
No, I just lost my connection, entire connection.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm sharing. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so see what happened. Okay, so what I did is I removed this. I'm not returning anything, and I remove this debug equals to true. Now what I'll do is I'll try to run this. So okay, so I got this thing, cell phone, and this everything I'll put in. Okay, now I'm adding the page. It's saying internal server error. Okay, so you're saying internal server error because something is there. Some problem is happening at the server end. Okay, so when server is trying to send this file, some problem is happening. Okay, now you know that I am not returning anything, but if you only have this screen, how will you figure it out? What is happening?
Yeah, no way we can figure it out.
Right. So if I want to figure these things out, what I'll do is I'll simply add here debug equals to true. Okay, it will run again. Okay, let me run it again. Okay, so my server is running again. I'll add the information. Okay, but now what is saying? It's not saying internal server. It is saying the view function generate did not return a valid response. Okay, so now you can say that even without seeing at the code that the generate function is not returning something. It returned none. Right. So debugger true gives you exactly what is the issue with your code.
Okay, sir. Okay. And like the debugger pin, like how do we use it? Like, is it useful in any way? The debugger pin it shows in the
where exactly?
Shell. In the shell, like,
this is same thing. See, same thing. It is same thing.
It shows a debugger pin, something like 9-digit number.
No, don't. Yeah, hello.
So I'm asking, when an error happens, we can go to that developers tool, and in the network, the status will show, I think.
Okay, let us see that. And so many times to write. Yeah, so this is what is happening, right? You will not be see developer tools. Where will you see? When will you see? When there is, see, initially before this screen, I was having that page, right, rendered, and then if I go to inspect, I can see what is happening below. Okay, here directly you will get everything on the screen. Okay, network. So everything you are getting on the screen. No, why do you need to go to network? If you are not going to go to if you're not writing that debug, then this some tabs like network and all are important, will come in handy. But if you are having a provision to see everything on the screen, and then see this is exactly telling you what is happening. Okay, and then if I go down, it will also tell me exactly what the problem is.
Okay, it is better then.
Yeah, so type error and all, right? Yeah, so this is one other way, right? The network and all the people who are very familiar with all these things can do from there. Okay, so that is where you can get better, same thing you can get from there, network tab. Okay, and what you are getting from network tab is somewhere in the form of error you are getting here on the main screen when you put debug equals to true. Okay, so that is the same thing, and that pin and all is not required. Pin and all is what you do of pin. Okay, so this is how debug equals to helps. Now see, now you are developing this app, right? This app is under development, and we are working on app, creating it, making it more interactive, adding advancement. So it is important to know whenever there is an error, it is very important for us to know that this is the error and it is causing some problem and where exactly it is happening. Okay, but if this application is under service, okay, production, that is called as production environment, that is where your application is being used by others. Okay, there you wouldn't want everyone to know what is the error in the program. Okay, so there you will not put things like debug equals to true. So if you have observed one thing, whenever we start, see what it says, this is a development server, do not use it in the production deployment, right? So why is this saying? Because we are putting debug mode on, debug mode on, and every issue is being shown to us, right? So I have like, this is very simple doubt, okay, that directly gets cleared, but there will be complex errors that we might not be able to figure out from what it is saying here, right? So there it also shows the part of code. See, it also shows the part of code. Okay, you wouldn't want your code to be seen by your users. Okay, that is the reason it says do not use it in the production deployment. So we don't put things like debugger on, and that is the reason for most of the other application which you use, you either see 404 not found, internal server error, they don't want you to see your code, right? So that is actually happening.
So in that case, they might be having some other mechanisms to catch errors, right? Like, so is there something
Why
of
will
this
a
sort?
user catch an error?
No. I'm saying the developers, like from the point of view of developers, like.
No, so what happens is I'll develop it, it in the what we say in the development mode. Okay, get all the errors cleared and then only deploy it. No?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Why
like,
will
but
I
just
deploy?
in case, like just
Yeah,
in case
in that,
after deploying, if there are any errors, like what sort
so
of?
I have the source code with me, right? Why will I go to server and see?
Yes, got it.
I am the developer, I have the source code. Okay, so these are the things. So everything has a meaning. We'll try to figure out what everything says. I might not know everything about it, but basically most of the things that are required, I can explain. Okay, so you're talking about that pin. Okay, so currently I don't know why this pin is used. We don't use anywhere this pin, but there may be some reason for that. Yeah, somebody speaking.
Yeah, I'm speaking.
Yeah, Sonal, tell me.
Yes, so one use of that debugger pin is that if you want to edit our code in that page itself, that error page itself, then that debugger pin is used. For example, if you go to that below page, can you go to that page? Can you zoom
which
it?
page? This
Yeah,
one?
this error page.
Okay, this one.
Yeah.
Wait.
And open it in tab. Yes. So if you go to that edit in below, yeah, raise type error.
Here.
Yeah. So we can see a terminal, right? Terminal in right.
Okay, here.
Yeah. So if you click on that, yeah.
Okay, got it. This is the thing. Yeah, this is the use of pin.
Yeah. So we can copy and paste that debugger pin here, and we can resume editing.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the use. See, everything has a meaning. So, but see, we are having our code here, so we won't need to do that. So that's why we don't use pin.
We can directly write it in our code.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, so there is some discussion going on in chat also, but I guess that is being answered by Rakesh and Kishore. Thanks, Rakesh. Okay, so yeah, so this is about it, about the application. I hope this was helpful.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I did was I returned none, right? I don't want this to happen. I'll remove this none. And what were we returning actually? Render template. Render template and this file. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
So like, what is the significance of underscore name and equals to underscore main?
Okay. All right. So see what happens is you will not be able to understand it very clearly in REPL. Okay. Let me try to show it in VS Code. I think you were not able to see my screen now.
Yes, sir. We are not able to see it yet.
Is it now? Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible right now. Yes.
Just a minute. Okay, so you can see REPL now. Just a minute. Just give me a minute. So my VS Code screen for week 4 must be visible now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so see what happens is I will add I'll create two files here. Okay, file1.py. Okay, create file1.py. Okay, I'll create one more file, file2.py. Okay, file1.py, file2.py. Okay, here I'll define name, and then again I'll write. So this is the variable. Okay, so this is one function. Okay, and okay, let me write this function again. Okay, and this is say surname. Okay, and my surname is okay. So see what I've done is I've written two functions here. One returns name, one returns surname. Okay, this is written in file2.py, and there is one file called file1.py. Okay, what I'll do is I'll write the second function in under the condition. So you don't have to write it here actually. So what I'll do is I'll write it here, something like if name equals to main. Okay, if name equals to main, name others. Okay, what I've done is I have run two functions, created two functions, and I'm running both the functions. Okay, should be string. Okay, so these are the two functions. Okay, I'm running here and I'm running here. Okay, let us save this. Okay, and I'll run this function. Okay, so okay, it is returning. Just a minute. I don't want to return, I want it to print. Okay, so this also return, this also print.
So why can't you return here?
I can return, but then I have to add it to some other variable and print it. Long task, right? It's a long task. Same thing is happening, but I'll show with return also, no issues. Okay, so what I've done is I've run this. I've created two functions. I've run both the functions. Okay, and I can see the output. Okay, so I'll just give one space, let it be. So I'll give, I got two outputs. Okay, so what happened? First, this function ran because this was defined first, and then this function ran. Okay, what I'll do is from here, I'll import file2. Okay, I'll import file2. Now let me run this file2. See what happened.
Oh, by just importing that code that was there in the file, which was not there in the underscore name, that ran already without we doing anything.
Yeah. So whatever comes under this will run only when this file f2 will run.
Oh.
Okay. And if I'm importing f2, okay, I'm importing. But if I'm running file1, right? I'm not running file2. I'm importing it and running file1. So what will happen? The function with no condition will run, and the function will with condition will not.
Okay.
Okay. Now the problem is in the Replit we have one function as main.py. So you get confused with what main and what main is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the difference. So what I want is I want to import certain libraries. So this, consider this to be one module, this to be other module, and these to be one method and this to be other method. Okay, I want to import all the things, but I don't want my this function to run. I don't want to run each and everything that is there in other module. Or if this is my module, I don't want others to import these functions. Okay, others to run these functions. I don't want this to happen. Okay, this is my public function, import it and run it. But I don't want this function to run. So that is how I do it. This function should run only when this file is running. So in this case, if I'm running this main acts as a variable. So acts as a key value again in the dictionary thing. So you do, this will happen. When I'm running f2.py, this happens. This main is assigned to f2. Okay, when I'm running this file. All right.
Yes, sir.
Getting, but when I'm running the other file,
when I'm running assigned to file1.
Yeah, it will assign to file1, right? But when will this run? When the name is file2.
Yes, sir.
So that is the this underscore is something that has relation with the files by their name. Okay, so that is the thing. So when you want one function to import but run only limited functions, then we use if name equals to main.
Okay. Like, but if that person imports the module, we can run the name function, right? We can run
you can run the surname function only, because
no, the surname function would be run automatically, but the name function we can, since we are importing the file, import file2, we can use the name function from file2, or we can't.
No, we cannot.
Oh. Okay.
That is the thing, we cannot. I don't want this code to get shared. Okay, I don't want this whatever happening in this function to get shared. Okay, that was the thing.
Okay, sir. Okay. So like what we then how exactly does import work then? Like we imported file 2, like right
So
now.
no, we imported only file 2. So while importing file 2, all the public functions will be imported automatically. Okay, let me try with importing the file, that name function from file 2 import. What was the function again? It was name. Okay. Import name, and then I'll have to run it. Let me run it and see. Yeah. What's your name? I'll write your name.
Sachin.
Okay, let's see. See, one way of doing it in the terminal, right? And then other way is simply this play button from here. So VS Code provides so many functionalities. Okay, what are we running? File 1. Yeah, so when you import, this happens. Okay. See, the public functions will be imported with the module, but not the functions defined under this condition. You have to explicitly import them.
Oh, okay. So how do we define public functions? Like how...
Just keep it outside, no, this condition.
Yeah, but in that case, the function has already been called. Like it runs automatically.
No. It is, see, yeah. So that no, it is not called this. When I call this import file 1, right? So this function, this file gets run. So when it's running, this function is getting run. Okay, so this function, whenever I'm importing simply file 2, this right, import file 2. When this happens, what happens? All the modules and functions are imported to file 1 and they run.
All the modules are
imported. They run. Only that this condition is not fulfilled. That's why this does not run.
Okay. So got it. Like if you want to run a specific function, like we want to set restrictions that you can, when you explicitly import it, then only you can run it.
Yeah. So let me see. See if I run file 2, then this should be the output. My surname is Madre. My name is Adarsh. Okay. But if I go to file 1 and run this, you get see. My surname is Madre. My name is Sachin. So what is happening? I am importing this function explicitly. Okay, and this file 2 is importing all the functions that are not defined within this condition. Okay, so this is the difference.
Okay, got it, sir.
All right, so probably this is okay. So this should be, so many had asked out. I hope this is clear. I had explained this previously, but not with the code, but with something in the writing and all. So I guess with the code, it is more clear to everyone.
Sir, if we define the surname Madre in the main function as well, then will it be imported or not?
Where exactly?
Below the name others.
Yeah, so if you put it here, both have to be explicitly called.
No, if we keep it outside as well, then.
Where outside?
Where it was earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, want to keep it at both the places, like outside and in the function as well. So
yeah, so that will happen, but then there is no point of having this statement. No?
Okay.
It will happen then. It will be imported also. This condition will fail. So function here. So what you're saying is this. Sorry, just a minute. I'll just copy this thing.
Yes.
Just give me a minute. So what will happen with this? If it is file 2, see there is one difference will happen. See. So if I'm saving this file 2 and running file 2, see what is happening. This thing will run twice. Okay. And if I run this, so I'm not importing name exactly. I'm simply importing the file 2 module. and the name will not be defined. So remove this, save this and run this. See what is happening. It is public, so it got imported, got run, but it won't happen twice because the second function was inside the condition.
So if so what is the point then of having this main if I do not have this like suppose if we have only these two definitions only, name and surname, and in the file one we can import like from file to import name and surname and then use it. So
yeah, so for that, you see, the thing is, let's say you want to work with this module. Okay, you want to work with this module. Let me remove this. Okay, you want to work with this module, and then you knew about this function. Okay, so let's say a module is defined and there are multiple functions, and some functions are about mathematics, some functions are about data science, some functions are about other topic. Okay, you import the module, and what is the point of importing each and every function? Okay, but the thing is, if I need all the functions based on mathematics, but I need two specific functions that are based on data science, I'll import them explicitly. No.
Yeah, my point is here keeping this line number 9 and 10. It is not required, right? It feels like this is redundant because
so in case of application, are you talking?
Yes.
So for that particular file, see, this is my Python file for me, but for file 1, it is a module.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm importing file 2 and I don't want all the functions. See, another thing, another reason why we do that is, see, if all the functions here were public, okay, you import and then all the functions get imported, your code will become very heavy. Okay, but what happens if I'm putting this under this condition, only surname and that surname function got imported, and your code is comparatively light because you are importing only required functions.
Okay, so it is only declared there so that only limited number of function will be imported automatically if I.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Right. So one thing is that. Second thing is you don't. Let's say somebody who doesn't require all those functions. Okay, but unknowingly imported the entire module and gets his code very heavy. What is the point? Right. So those functions which are very simpler or which are interpreting very lightly, those functions can be made public. Very heavy functions, you import it explicitly and then use it. That is the thing. Okay, and if I'm creating my own module here, everything which is defined will be run. You got the point, right?
Yes, sir. I got the point.
Okay, so this is the simple reason of this statement. Now the thing is, what happens is when we talk about Flask. Okay, so let me go to. Is this visible? So Replit?
No, sir.
Okay, just let me share. So it is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
So now in case of Replit, what happens is I'm putting this condition app this why because if somebody imports main, okay, so if I have one file here called app.py, okay, I have this file, I have app.py. Let's say I define the file app.py. Okay, what I can do, I can from main, I can import all these functions, right? This generate and all I can import. Okay, but I just want to import the function and use it. I don't want to run the application.
Yes.
You're getting what I'm saying?
Yes,
when
sir.
I run main.py, the functions get created, they get called, and the application also runs. Okay, in main.py. But in app.py, if I import this generate function, it will import and I can use it, but my application will not run because I don't want to run it. I just want to use the function. That is where this condition is helpful. Okay, run this application only when you're running main.py. Okay, otherwise unnecessary things will get rendered. Are you getting, is it lost or something?
No, yes, sir.
Yeah, so that is the reason we are using here this name equals to. Okay, so simply because you are creating another module, see, you will come, you will understand it very easily or very nicely when you work on project. So in project, what we do is we create a package like structure. Okay, in package like structure, we'll define functions on controller, we'll define functions on model, we'll define some functions on view, we'll define some APIs. Okay, and these functions are imported from one module to another. Okay, so if I'm working with controller and if I want to import some function that is defined in view, okay, if or the other way around, if I'm working with view and if I want to import some functions from the controller, instead of importing the function, what I'll end up with, if I don't add this condition, I'll import the function and also run the app every day.
Yes, sir.
Correct. And this application, same application on same host, on same IP, running 4 times at a time, what you will get? Not found. Right? The issue that you are getting generally, local host not present, took a lot of time. Why is all those problems are happening? Because you are running same app from multiple files. Okay, so that is where this condition is very handy in Flask.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I hope I have made this clear. So what exactly it does and why we are using it in Flask. Okay. Okay, so anything else? I think we're up with the time also. I hope I've cleared some of your concepts, and session like could take the proper requirement from the session. So I hope that is it about today's session. If there is anything we can talk on, otherwise we can drop.
So thank you, sir, for the wonderful session.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, so we're calling it a day. Okay.
Oh, thank you, sir.
All right, thanks.